There's a man in every room who barely says a word, and somehow everyone watches him. And there's another who does everything right, works harder than anyone, stays humble, waits his turn, and gets stepped over every single time. For years, I thought the difference was confidence. It's not. It's something colder than that. By the end of this video, you'll know the exact moment respect gets decided in any room. It happens in about 4 seconds, and almost no one controls it. 3 mechanics decide it. The third one is going to feel like cheating. Stay with me. Here's the paradox nobody warns you about. The harder you chase respect, the faster it runs. Chase it, and you signal the one thing that kills it: need. The oldest part of the human brain is scanning every interaction for a single question. Who needs who more? The second you answer, "I need you," you've lost. You just don't hear the verdict out loud. So forget earning respect. We're going to look at how it's commanded, the actual psychological machinery underneath it. Quick warning before we start. This is the darker side of social mechanics. It's potent. Use it to stop being walked on, not to walk on someone else. Mechanic 1 is the one everything else is built on. And most people get it backwards. 2 people walk into the same negotiation. The first, call him Alex, walks in rehearsed. He's run his pitch 100 times. His whole goal is for them to like him, to approve his proposal. Everything about him is angled toward their reaction. The second, Eva, walks in like she's there to decide if they're worth her time. She's not auditioning, she's evaluating. She isn't asking for approval, she's the one handing it out. Same room, same deal. Eva wins it before either of them says a word. That's frame. Frame is whose version of reality the room runs on. The person with the stronger frame sets the terms, and everyone else quietly adjusts to them without noticing they're doing it. People who beg for respect spend the whole conversation living inside someone else's frame. They concede, they accommodate, they shrink to fit. To command respect, you hold yours. Now, holding frame is not being loud or stubborn or arrogant. Loud is just Mead wearing a costume. Holding frame is quieter than that. It's not flinching when someone tests you. Picture it, a meeting. Someone lands a little dig at your expense, half joke, half knife. Everyone glances over to see if you'll crumble. The needy move is to laugh it off or fire back something weak. Both hand them the frame. The frame control move, you don't rush to fill the silence. You hold the look. 1 beat, 2. Then, calm and genuinely curious, "I don't get it. Can you explain the joke?" People work the same way. And here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They spike. They drop the accomplishment into the conversation. They mention the title, the number, the good deed, the connection, hoping it lands as impressive. It never does. Spiking doesn't read as confidence. It reads as a man checking whether you're impressed yet. That's need again, in a nicer suit. The move is the opposite. Let your value get discovered. It's the difference between the guy who tells every woman he's a nice guy and the one who simply has boundaries, a direction, a life, and never has to say a word about any of it. This is also why being wanted makes you more wanted. People are drawn to what others already value. It's called pre-selection, and it's wired deep. When it's obvious you have options, in your work, your social life, your time, your value climbs on its own. Not because you bragged, because you clearly don't need this one room to work out. So how do you actually build that instead of faking it? You build a life that isn't waiting on anyone's permission. Rare skills, real projects, things you'd care about even if no one was watching. When your life is the evidence, you never have to argue the case. People feel it before you open your mouth. But there's a catch. You can hold a flawless frame. You can have undeniable value, and one slip still hands all your power away in a second. That slip is the thing Mechanic 3 is built to kill. And this is the one that's going to feel illegal. This is the one most people get completely wrong. Strategic indifference. The Stoics figured this out 2,000 years ago. The only thing you ever truly control is your response. Which means the man who can be angered, flattered, or offended on command isn't free. He's a puppet. And everyone he meets is holding a string. Here's the core of it. In any interaction, the power belongs to whoever is less invested in the outcome. The moment you need their approval, their money, or their attention more than they need yours, it's over. You're negotiating from your knees no matter how straight you're standing, so you have to be genuinely willing to walk. Not as a bluff, bluffs leak. As an actual standard. What that looks like in practice is almost boring. Someone compliments you? Thank you. That's it. No gushing, no scrambling to return it twice as hard. Someone insults you? It doesn't land. It's a dog barking at the moon, loud and about nothing. Let me show you what this does to a person who's attacking you. A young politician was getting torn apart in public by an older rival. Sharper, more established, relentless. The young man did everything you're supposed to do. Argued back, brought the facts, tried to win over the rival's allies. Every move made him look smaller, more rattled, more desperate. Finally, an advisor told him, "Stop feeding him. Every time he says your name, act like you heard nothing." So the next time the rival went on the attack, a reporter asked the young man for his response. He just smiled. "I'm focused on the water crisis in the eastern province. That's what matters." And he did it again and again. He starved the man of the one thing he was hunting, a reaction. Within months, the rival looked obsessed, bitter, small. He was still talking about a man who, as far as anyone could see, had simply stopped hearing him. The respect in that room moved, quietly, completely, to the one who wouldn't flinch. Your attention is currency. Every reaction you give away is a coin in someone else's pocket. Withhold it, and you keep the power. And something better than power, a self-respect that doesn't depend on a single other person in the room. That's the man from the very first shot. He's not cold. He's not pretending. He just stopped handing out the strings. So, those 4 seconds, the ones where respect gets decided before anyone said a real word. Now you know what's actually happening in them. It's not your resume. It's not how hard you're trying. It's 3 things the room reads instantly. Whose reality you're standing in. Whether your value is something you announce or something they sense. And whether you need this to go your way. Beat. Frame. Implied value. Indifference. The respect you've been chasing was never something you could earn by submitting harder. It's a shadow. The thing cast automatically by someone who stopped asking. And here's the part nobody likes to hear. This isn't a trick you do once. It's who you decide to be when you walk into the next room. Stop hunting for the verdict outside yourself. Build a reality strong enough that the verdict stops mattering. So here's the real question. Not can you do this? Are you willing to stop trying and start commanding? Be honest in the comments. Which of the 3 are you weakest at right now? Frame, value, or indifference? Naming it is the first time you take a string back. And the next video is the dangerous companion to this one. The 4 quiet behaviors that make people lose respect for you instantly, without ever saying why. If you don't want to be the one losing those 4 seconds, subscribe and the algorithm will hand it to you next. The world doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what you refuse to beg for.